So we've talked about see what you want and get what you see, and how visualization works to enhance your performance. So what is the process for visualizing your future? The process for visualizing for success is really quite simple. All you have to do is close your eyes and set your goals, and as they're already complete. It's as simple as that. But there's key things you need to do in order to enhance that. If one of your objectives is to own a nice house by the beach, then close your eyes and see yourself walking through that exact house and how it would look and feel. Fill in all the details. What does the exterior look like? How is it landscaped? What kind of view does it have? What the living room does it have? What's the kitchen like? The master bedroom, the dining room, the family room, the den look like? And everything else round about it. How's it furnished? Go from room to room and fill out the details in immense detail. Make the image as clear and as bright as possible. This is the goal that you must make, whether it's in the area of work, play, family, personal finances, relationships, or philanthropy. Write down each of your goals and objectives, then review them, affirm them, and visualize them every single day. Then each morning when you awake and each night before you go to bed, read through your goals, recreate and pause, and close your eyes and recreate the visual images and completed goals in your mind. Continue through this until you visualize each goal as it's completed and fulfilled. The whole process will take between 10 and 15 minutes, depending on how many goals you have. If you meditate, do your visualization right after the finishing meditation. Deepen your state. Good morning, Julie. That you've achieved in meditation will heighten your impact of your visualizations. So the more deepened you are, the more heightened the impact of your visualizations will be. Add the sounds and feelings to the pictures. To multiply the effect over many times, add sounds, smells, tastes, feelings to your pictures. What sounds would you be hearing? What smells would you be smelling? What tastes would you be tasting? And more important, what emotions and bodily senses would you be feeling if you had already achieved your goal? If you were imagining your dream house on the beach, you might have the sound of the sea lapping on the shore outside your home, and the sound of the kids playing in the sand, and the sound of your spouse's voice thanking you for being such a good provider. Then add all the feelings of pride and ownership, satisfaction of having achieved your goal, and the feeling of the sun on your face as you sit on your deck looking at your beautiful sunset over the sea and the ocean itself. Remember to fuel the images with emotion. By far, these emotions are what you propel your vision forward. Research know that when accompanied by intense emotions, an image or a scene will stay locked in your memory forever. I'm sure we'll all remember where we are when 9/11 and the World Trade Center collapsed in 2001. Your brain remembers it all in great detail, not because only did your brain filter information you need for surviving these intense moments, but also the images themselves when they're created with intense emotion. These intense emotions actually stimulated the growth of additional spiny probates in the deterrents of the brain neurons, and ultimately creates more neural connections, thus locking in the memory more solidly. You can bring in the emotional state of intensity of your own visualizations by adding inspiring music, real-life smells, deeply felt passion, even loudly shouting your affirmations with exaggerating enthusiasm. The more passion, excitement, and energy you muster, the more powerful your ultimate result will be. Visualization actually works. Let me tell you about Olympic gold medalist Peter Vladimir. He describes his visualization and the success in the pursuit of the gold medal. So he says, to keep us focused on our Olympic goal, we began ending our workouts by visualizing our dream. We visualized ourselves actually competing in the Olympics and achieving our dream by practicing what we thought would be the ultimate gymnastics scenario. I'd say, okay, Tim, let's imagine it's the men's gymnastics team in the finals of the Olympic Games. The United States team is on its last event of the night, which is just what happens in the high bar. The last two guys up for the United States are Tim Daggett and Peter Vladimir. Our team is neck and neck with the People's Republic of China and the reigning champions. And we have to perform our routines perfectly to win the Olympic gold medal. At that point, we'd be thinking, yeah, right. We're never going to beat these guys. They're the number one in the Budapest World Championships. Well, our team didn't even win a medal. It's never going to happen. But what if it did happen? How would we feel? We'd close our eyes, we'd empty the gym, and at the end of the long day, we'd visualise the Olympic arena with 13,000 people in the seats and 2 million people watching on the television live. And we practice the routines over and over. First, I'd be the announcer. I'd cup my hands around my mouth saying, next up from the United States of America, Tim Daggett. Then Tim would go through his routine as if it were the real thing. Then Tim would go over to the corner of the gym, cup his hands around his mouth, and in the best announcer voice say, next up from the United States of America is Peter Vadmer. Then it was my turn. In my mind, I had one chance to perfectly form my routine in order for our team to win the gold medal. If I didn't, we'd lose. Tim would shout, green light. Then I'd look at the superior judge, who would usually look at our coach Marco. I'd raise my hand and he'd raise his hand right back. Then I'd turn, face the bar, grab hold and begin my routine. Well, a funny thing happened on the 31st of July 1984. It was Olympic Games men's gymnastics team final in Porley Pavilion in the UCLA Championships. The 13,000 feet were filled. The television audience in excess of 200 million people around the world tuning in. The United States team was on its last event of the night, the high bar. The last two guys up for the United States just happened to be Tim and Peter. And just as we visualised, our team was neck and neck with the People's Republic of China. We had to perform the high bar routines perfectly to win our gold medal. I looked at Coach Marco, my coach for the past 12 years, as focused as ever. He simply said, okay, Peter, let's go. And you know what to do. You've done it 1,000 times, just like that, every day in the gym. So let's just do it one more time and let's go home. You're prepared. He was right. I had planned for this moment, visualised it 100 times. I was prepared to perform my routine rather than seeing myself actually standing on the Olympics. Rather than seeing myself actually standing in an Olympic arena of 13,000 people with 200 million watching on television in my mind, I pictured myself back in the UCLA gym at the end of the day with the 2 people left in the gym. This is to take the nerves away. When the announcer said, from the United States of America, Peter Vladman, I imagined it was my buddy Tim Daggett saying it. When the green light came on, indicated it was time for the routine, I imagined it wasn't really a green light, but it was Tim shouting, green light. And when I raised my hand towards the superior judge from East Germany, in my mind I was signaling my coach, just like I'd signalled him every day at the end of 100 workouts in the gym. I always visualised I was on the Olympic finals. At the Olympic finals, I'd visualised I was back in the gym. Think about that. When the pressure's on, a lot of people actually use this visualisation technique to visualise where they were before to take the pressure off of where they are just now. If you could putt for 2 yards into a hole, could you do it? Yeah, more than likely. If I said you could do it for £10,000, would you be able to do it? Yeah, more than likely. But if I said there was 100,000 on the line, and it's either winner takes all or nothing, then you'd be a bit more nervous about it, wouldn't you? And that's why he did it, just to take the nerves off. He imagined himself back in the gym doing his similar routine, which is 100% perfect, without putting the pressure on him with all these crowds watching. So he turned his face to the bar, jumped up and grabbed on. He says, I began the same routine I had visualised and practiced every day in the gym, and in the memory mode, going yet again where I'd already gone 100 times. I quickly made its past, its risky double release move, and harpooned my chances at the World Championships. I moved smoothly through the rest of my routine and landed a solid dismount where I was anxiously waiting my score from the judges. With a deep voice, the announcement came from the speaker. The score for Peter Vadmer is 9.95. Yes, I shouted. I did it. The crowd cheered loudly as my teammates and I celebrated our victory. 30 minutes later, we were standing on an Olympic platform on the Olympic arena with 13,000 people in the stands and over 2 million people watching on television. While the gold medals were officially draped around their necks, Tim, me and our teammates stood proudly wearing our gold medals as the national anthem played and the American flag was raised to the top of the arena. It was at that moment we'd visualised and practiced hundreds of times in the gym. Only this time, it was for real. and I'll see you tomorrow.